Let's see if the help can take a punch better than she cleans these floors. Vincent Whitley's voice cuts through the pristine gym, the words landing like a slap across Jennifer Alder's face as she freezes mid-mop stroke. The expensive cologne of his entourage mixes with bleach fumes, creating a nauseating clash of worlds that burns her nostrils. The Pinnacle Fight Club gleams under industrial lighting, all chrome and leather, the kind of place where memberships cost more than most people's rent. At this late hour, the gym should be empty except for Jennifer, her lean frame bent over a mop as she works the immaculate floor in slow, methodical strokes. Jennifer tightens her grip on the mop handle, forcing herself not to react. Her custodial uniform hangs loose on her athletic frame, deliberately hiding the definition of muscle underneath. She glances at the wall of champions, photographs of fighters, all men, all wearing the same smug expression of entitlement. The sharp click of expensive shoes against marble breaks the silence as Vincent continues his tour with a small entourage of equally wealthy men, their laughter echoing through the space like they own it, because Vincent does. "We won't be long, just showing the boys around before their membership checks clear," he adds, as if she's nothing more than another piece of gym equipment. Jennifer nods, keeps her eyes down, continues mopping. One of the men, Tyler Brooks, the gym's star fighter, breaks away from the group, shadowboxing near the ring. "That's your champion? The one fighting next month?" asks one of the wealthy clients. "Undefeated. Been training him myself for years," Vincent replies. The client looks skeptical. Vincent's jaw tightens, a flash of worry beneath his confident veneer. "Tyler could take down anyone in Chicago with his eyes closed." Tyler throws lazy punches in the air, showing off. His gaze drifts to Jennifer, who has moved to mopping another section, deliberately keeping her distance. "Anyone," Tyler smirks. "Even the cleaning lady." Vincent follows Tyler's gaze, sees Jennifer. Something calculating crosses his face. "Hey, you! Come here a second," he calls loudly, not even using her name. Jennifer stiffens but approaches, clutching her mop like a staff. "Sir?" "These gentlemen are potential investors in Tyler's career. They need a little demonstration." Vincent's smile doesn't reach his eyes. "How about you hop in the ring? Give Tyler someone to show off with. Might be the most valuable thing you do all month." The men laugh, phones already coming out to record what they assume will be entertainment at her expense. Jennifer's face burns, her knuckles white around the mop handle. "I'm not finished with my shift, Mr. Whitley," she says quietly. "I'm telling you to take a break, unless you're worried about your job. Not many options out there for someone with your qualifications." The threat hangs in the air. Jennifer's eyes flick to the jade stone wrapped in cloth around her wrist, partially hidden by her sleeve, her grandfather's hand wrap, a family treasure. "No headgear?" she asks quietly. "Won't need it. I'll go easy on you," Tyler laughs. "Wouldn't want to damage the help. Who'd mop up after?" Something shifts in Jennifer's eyes, calculation replacing humiliation. The wealthy men are already placing casual bets, not one of them considering she might know what she's doing. "Your mistake," she whispers under her breath. She sets down her mop and walks toward the ring, her heart thundering in her chest. Jennifer's alarm blares at 4:30 a.m., jolting her from a fitful sleep. Her body aches from yesterday's humiliation at the gym, muscles tight with unspent rage. The cramped studio apartment is cold. She keeps the heat low to save money. Bills are stacked neatly on the kitchen counter, the largest one from Chicago Memorial Hospital marked "Final Notice" in angry red letters. She dresses quietly in the dark, careful not to wake her grandmother sleeping in the bedroom. Through the cracked door, she can hear Grandma Rose's labored breathing, the oxygen machine's steady hum. The doctors say her grandmother's condition is worsening. The experimental treatment they recommend costs more than Jennifer makes in a year. Before leaving, Jennifer kneels beside a worn wooden chest at the foot of her bed. Inside, beneath folded clothes, lies her grandfather's fighting journal, its pages yellowed and dog-eared from years of study. She traces the faded inscription, Power hidden is power preserved. Next to it rest several pairs of hand wraps, one with the small jade stone sewn inside, a talisman he brought from his homeland, passed down through generations of fighters. The morning air hits like a slap as Jennifer jogs through the South Side streets, past shuttered businesses and early shift workers waiting for buses. 6 miles every morning, rain or shine, just as her grandfather taught her since she was 6 years old. Back then, it was their secret. Grandma Rose never approved of fighting. "That life chewed up your grandfather and nearly swallowed him whole," she'd say. By 6:30 a.m., Jennifer arrives at her first job, night security at a storage facility. The manager barely acknowledges her as she clocks out, handing over to the day shift. Her paycheck, when it comes Friday, will go straight to Grandma's medication. The abandoned warehouse where Jennifer trains sits 2 blocks from the projects where she grew up. The smell of damp concrete and rusted metal fills her lungs as she enters through a broken side door. Inside, makeshift equipment lines the walls, a heavy bag suspended from exposed beams, speed bags made from taped-together cushions, weights fashioned from concrete blocks and metal pipes. Her grandfather's voice echoes in her memory as she wraps her hands, the jade stone cool against her pulse point. "Fighting isn't about being stronger or faster," he'd say in his deep, rumbling voice. "It's about knowing what your opponent doesn't know about you." For 2 hours, Jennifer moves through the familiar routines, shadowboxing, footwork drills, combinations against the heavy bag. Her punches crack through the dusty air, each one precise, economical. No wasted movement. The rhythm of her fists hitting the bag drowns out the memory of Vincent's laughter, of Tyler's smug face. By 10 a.m., she's mopping floors at the Pinnacle Fight Club, muscles burning beneath her baggy uniform. Vincent strides through the main floor, not even glancing her way. It's as if last night never happened, except for the sideways glances from other staff, the whispers that follow her through the halls. "You've been at it a long time," says a gravelly voice behind her. Jennifer turns to find Ray, the 60-something maintenance man, leaning on his broom. His dark eyes are kind, but knowing. "Just doing my job," she replies, looking away. "Those are fighters' hands," Ray says quietly, nodding toward her calloused knuckles. "Can't hide them, no matter how much you try." Jennifer stiffens. "I don't know what you're talking about." Ray smiles, revealing a gold tooth. "Sure you don't. Just like I don't know about that tournament coming up. The grand prize is $50,000. It could change someone's life, that kind of money." The mop freezes in Jennifer's hands. $50,000. Enough for Grandma's treatment, enough to finally get ahead. "Registration closes in 6 weeks, Ray continues. But you need a sponsor, a gym affiliation. Not just anyone can walk in." "I know," Jennifer says flatly, resuming her mopping. "Place like this would never back someone like me." "Maybe," Ray shrugs. "Then again, Vincent's not as stable as he looks. Word is the gym's losing members to that new place downtown. He needs Tyler to win that tournament, needs that publicity." Before Jennifer can respond, Vincent's office door flies open. He's on his phone, face flushed with anger. "What do you mean, dropping out? We had a deal." His voice carries across the gym. 3 months of training and you're backing out now? The registration deadline is... He stops, listening, then curses under his breath. "Fine. Your loss." Vincent slams his office door. Through the glass wall, Jennifer can see him pacing, running hands through his perfectly styled hair. "Sounds like Vincent just lost a fighter," Ray murmurs. "Tournament allows 3 entries per gym. He only has Tyler now." "Why are you telling me this?" Jennifer asks, though she already knows. Ray's eyes crinkle at the corners. "Maybe I knew your grandfather. Maybe I used to tape his hands before fights, back when this neighborhood had real fighters, not these pretty boys Vincent trains." That night, Jennifer helps Grandma Rose into bed, adjusting the oxygen tube beneath her nose. Even this small movement leaves her grandmother winded. You're working too hard, Grandma Rose says, patting Jennifer's hand. I see it in your eyes. That same fire your grandfather had. I'm fine, Grandma. Just tired. The hospital called again. That doctor, the specialist. Her grandmother's eyes, still sharp despite her failing body, searched Jennifer's face. I told them we can't afford fancy treatments. Let me worry about that, Jennifer says, tucking the blanket around her grandmother's thin shoulders. You know what your grandfather used to say? Some fights aren't worth the winning, Jennifer finishes with a sad smile. But as she lies awake that night, staring at the ceiling, her grandfather's hand wraps clutched in her fist, Jennifer knows some fights are worth everything. 6 weeks until registration closes. 6 weeks to convince Vincent Whitley she deserves a spot. 6 weeks to save her grandmother's life. The jade stone gleams in the darkness, a promise of what's to come. The next 2 weeks unfold in a blur of escalating humiliation. Word spreads through Pinnacle Fight Club about Vincent's joke, how he offered to put the cleaning lady in the ring with his champion. Now every corner of the gym holds a snickering trainer or a client who looks at Jennifer with mocking eyes. Hey, janitor, want to spar? Calls one of Tyler's training partners as Jennifer mops near the heavy bags. His friends laugh, phones raised hopefully. Jennifer keeps her head down, the mop moving in steady strokes. Ignore them, her grandfather's voice echoes in her memory. Let them think what they want. But ignoring becomes impossible when someone creates a meme from security footage of that night. A still image of Jennifer clutching her mop, looking startled with the caption, "Cleaning lady thinks she can fight." It circulates through the gym's private client chat, then leaks to local boxing forums. That afternoon, Jennifer finds her locker vandalized. A printout of the meme taped to the door, the word joke scrawled across it in red marker. Her cleaning supplies have been rearranged, the disinfectant mixed with bleach creating fumes that make her eyes water and lungs burn when she opens the cabinet. Should be more careful with chemicals, Tyler smirks as he passes by. Dangerous job, cleaning. The threat isn't subtle. Jennifer's hands tremble with rage as she dumps the toxic mixture, her extra hour of work unpaid. When she gets home that night, Grandma Rose is sitting at the kitchen table, a letter spread before her, face ashen. The insurance denied the appeal, she says without looking up. They won't cover the treatment. Jennifer's stomach drops. We'll figure something out, Grandma. The specialist called, says there's a clinical trial starting next month. Hope flickers briefly in her grandmother's tired eyes. But we'd need to put down a deposit to secure a spot. $20,000. 20,000, Jennifer whispers. I told him we don't have that kind of money. Grandma Rose folds the letter with shaking hands. I've made my peace, child. The next morning, Jennifer waits outside Vincent's office, heart hammering against her ribs. When he arrives, coffee in hand, he barely glances at her. Mr. Whitley, could I speak with you for a moment? Her voice is steadier than she feels. Vincent sighs dramatically. Make it quick. Some of us have actual jobs to do. I want to train here, professionally. Jennifer forces the words out. I want to enter the tournament. Vincent stares at her for 3 long seconds before bursting into laughter. The sound bounces off the walls, drawing attention from nearby trainers. You're serious? He wipes an imaginary tear from his eye. Listen, sweetheart. This is an elite training facility, not a charity case for janitors with delusions of grandeur. I can pay the registration fee, Jennifer presses. I just need gym affiliation. Even if you could afford membership, which you can't, you need a proven track record, references, years of training. Vincent's amusement fades to irritation. Now, if you're done wasting my time, those bathrooms won't clean themselves. He brushes past her, deliberately bumping her shoulder. The coffee sloshes from his cup onto her uniform. Oops, he says without turning back. Clean that up, too. The humiliation burns in Jennifer's chest as trainers and early morning clients stare, some openly snickering. She retreats to the supply closet, changes her shirt with trembling hands, and returns to work. But something has shifted inside her. The rage crystallizes into resolve. That evening, Jennifer arrives at her warehouse to find the entrance blocked by construction equipment. A sign declares, "Future home of Lincoln Park luxury condos. Private property. No trespassing." Her training space, gone. Jennifer stands there, the weight of accumulated losses threatening to crush her. No gym, no warehouse, no money, no hope for Grandma. Her phone buzzes with a text from her second job. Schedule change. Now working weekends. New hours attached. The revised schedule overlaps with her morning training time. They've cut her hours, too, just enough to hurt her paycheck without qualifying as a full reduction. Jennifer's fists clench at her sides, nails digging half-moons into her palms. When she returns home, Grandma Rose is on the phone, her voice uncharacteristically sharp. "No, you listen to me. Those pills were supposed to last the month. I can't afford to refill early just because you sent the wrong dosage." She hangs up, noticing Jennifer in the doorway. "Pharmacy says our copay went up again. Insurance reclassified my condition." Jennifer feels something crack inside her chest. "How much?" "200 more. Per week." Her grandmother's eyes fill with tears. "I'll stop taking the evening dose." "Stretch it out." "No." Jennifer kneels beside her grandmother's chair. "You take your medicine exactly as prescribed. I'll handle it." The next day, Ray finds her aggressively scrubbing already clean equipment, her knuckles raw. "Heard Vincent shot you down," he says quietly. "Did the whole gym hear?" Jennifer's voice is bitter. "Just me. I have good ears." Ray glances around, then lowers his voice. "I knew your grandfather, just like I said. James Stonehand Alder, undefeated in the underground circuit for 15 years. Jennifer freezes. "My grandfather was a mechanic." Ray's laugh is soft and knowing. "That too. Man contained multitudes." He pulls up his sleeve, revealing a faded tattoo, a jade stone, identical to the one in Jennifer's hand wraps. "We came up together, fought together. I was his corner man for the most important fights of his life." Before Jennifer can respond, Tyler's voice cuts through their conversation. "Hey, cleaning staff, shouldn't you two be mopping something?" He saunters over, several training partners in tow. "Or are you plotting your big fighting debut?" His friends laugh on cue. Jennifer turns away, but Tyler steps in front of her. "I asked you a question." His voice drops, menace replacing mockery. "Vincent says you've been getting ideas above your station, thinking you belong in the ring." The smell of his expensive cologne turns Jennifer's stomach. She tries to step around him, but his hand shoots out, gripping her upper arm. "I'm talking to you," he hisses. "I said, let go." Jennifer's voice is quiet but edged with steel. Tyler's grip tightens. "Or what? You'll clean me to death?" The gymnasium falls silent, a small crowd gathering. Jennifer can feel their eyes, hear their whispers. She thinks of her grandmother's medical bills, the tournament deadline, everything crushing down on her at once. "Last chance," she warns, her heart hammering against her ribs. Tyler laughs, yanking her closer. "What are you going to do about—" The movement happens so fast that most onlookers miss it. Jennifer's right hand breaks his grip while her left palm strikes upward, stopping just short of Tyler's nose. A perfect check, controlled and precise. She steps back, balanced on the balls of her feet, hands returning to neutral position. The gym freezes in collective shock. Tyler stumbles backward, eyes wide with surprise and something else. Fear. "What the hell?" he sputters. Jennifer remains perfectly still, her breathing controlled, eyes locked on Tyler. The stance is unmistakable to anyone who knows fighting. This is no lucky move, no desperate flailing. This is trained muscle memory. You! Tyler lunges forward, throwing a wild punch. Jennifer slips the punch with minimal movement, countering with a light tap to his ribcage, pulling the strike that could have folded him in half. The perfect form shocks even Ray, whose gold tooth gleams in a surprised smile. Enough! Vincent's voice cuts through the silence. He pushes through the gathered crowd, face flushed with anger. What is going on here? She attacked me! Tyler points at Jennifer, his voice rising an octave. He grabbed me first, Jennifer replies calmly. I defended myself. Vincent's eyes dart between them, then to the silent onlookers. Everyone back to work, now! When the crowd reluctantly disperses, he turns to Jennifer, voice low and dangerous. My office, now! Inside Vincent's glass-walled office, he slams the door and rounds on her. You're fired. Get your things and get out. As Jennifer is led through the gym by security, she keeps her head high. Outside, a teenage girl approaches, Vincent's daughter Bella. I saw what happened in there. I recorded it, Bella says, holding up her phone. That fighter grabbed you first. Dad didn't want to hear it, but... It doesn't matter now, Jennifer says, turning to leave. Wait, Bella calls after her. Don't you want to know why I recorded it? Jennifer pauses, looking back at the girl's determined face. Because Tyler's a creep, and my dad enables him, Bella continues. They think they can treat people however they want because they have money or titles. Before Jennifer can respond, Bella's car pulls away. That night, Jennifer's phone explodes with notifications. Bella has posted the video online with the caption, Dad's gym just fired this woman for defending herself against his starfighter, #, Pinnacle Club scandal. The video has already been shared hundreds of times, comments flooding in. Jennifer stares at her phone in disbelief as the view count climbs. There's a text from an unknown number. Community gym, 5 a.m. tomorrow, don't be late, Ray. Dawn is breaking as Jennifer approaches the address Ray sent. Southside Community Gym is nothing like Pinnacle Club. A squat brick building with barred windows and a faded sign. Inside, the equipment is old but well-maintained, the walls covered with yellowing newspaper clippings and fight posters from decades past. Ray stands in the center of a worn boxing ring, wrapping his hands with practiced movements. You came, he says, not looking up. I'm out of options, Jennifer answers honestly. No. Ray finishes his raps and looks up, eyes gleaming. You're just beginning to see them. He gestures to the wall behind her. Jennifer turns and freezes. Among the faded photographs is one she's never seen before. Her grandfather, young and powerful, arm raised in victory, the jade-wrapped hand held high. Beneath it, a headline. Stone Hand Alder remains undefeated. Welcome to your inheritance, Ray says softly. Your grandfather built this place, owned it with 3 other fighters from the neighborhood. After he promised your grandmother he'd quit, he kept it going for the community. Jennifer approaches the photo, touching it with trembling fingers. Why didn't he tell me? He was telling you, in his own way. Ray jumps down from the ring. The question is, what are you going to do with what he taught you? I need to enter that tournament. For my grandmother. For myself. Ray's gold tooth flashes in a smile. Registration closes in 3 weeks. Tournament committee requires gym affiliation and a qualifying match. Not Vincent's gym. Ray gestures around them. This gym, Stone Hand Memorial Boxing Club, officially registered with the Amateur Boxing Association since 1987. Hope flares in Jennifer's chest. You can sponsor me? Better. I can train you. Ray's face grows serious. But understand what you're getting into. Vincent will try to block you. Tyler will want revenge. Jennifer's muscles scream as she completes her 15th burpee the next day, sweat pooling on the concrete floor of Stone Hand. The smell of old leather and decades of effort fill her lungs with each gasping breath. Again! Ray barks, stopwatch in hand. 10 more! As the days pass, news of Jennifer's training spreads. Local residents begin to watch, some eventually joining workouts. By the end of the week, 5 more neighborhood people have trickled in, drawn by word of mouth and the viral video. You're becoming a local celebrity, Ray notes. Jennifer frowns. I'm not here for fame. Maybe not, Ray says, but allies are valuable. Vincent has money and connections. We need numbers. Vincent's counterattack has already begun. Someone has leaked her employment history to local boxing forums, painting her as unstable, unqualified, potentially violent. The qualifying match is in 2 weeks, but 3 potential opponents have already pulled out after receiving calls from Pinnacle Club. He's blacklisting me, Jennifer realizes. Trying to, Ray nods, but he can't reach everyone. When Jennifer arrives home that evening, she finds Grandma Rose sitting at the kitchen table, an open letter before her. The clinical trial called. Her grandmother's voice is steady. They've moved up the start date. If we want a spot, we need the deposit in 10 days. 10 days? But the tournament doesn't start for almost a month. Jennifer, what's this video people keep calling about? Something about you fighting at that fancy gym. The question catches Jennifer off guard. She sinks into a chair opposite her grandmother. I lost my job at Pinnacle, she admits. There was an incident. Were you hurt? Immediate concern fills Grandma Rose's tired eyes. No, Jennifer hesitates, then decides the time for secrets has passed. I defended myself, used what Grandpa taught me. Grandma Rose goes very still. What do you mean? What he taught you? Slowly, Jennifer unwraps the cloth around her wrist, revealing the jade stone. This was his. You know that. What you might not know is what it meant to him. What it means to me. Recognition dawns in her grandmother's eyes, followed quickly by alarm. He promised me he wouldn't involve you in that life. That life nearly killed him a dozen times over, Grandma Rose whispers. The underground fights, the injuries he hid from you. I know about the gym, Grandma. Stonehand Memorial. I'm training there now. Jennifer leans forward, taking her grandmother's fragile hands in hers. There's a tournament coming up. $50,000 prize. Enough for your treatment. Horror replaces surprise on Grandma Rose's face. No, absolutely not. I won't have you hurting yourself for my sake. It's not just for you. It's for me, too. Jennifer struggles to articulate the feeling. All these years, I've been hiding what I can do. Who I am. The oxygen machine hisses in the background, a reminder of what's at stake. Jennifer feels torn between honoring her grandmother's wishes and following the path that feels increasingly like destiny. The deposit deadline is in 10 days, Jennifer says quietly. I have to try, Grandma. Grandma Rose turns away, shoulders slumped in defeat. I can't watch you destroy yourself, even for me. 3 days before the qualifying match, Jennifer arrives home to find her grandmother waiting, a small wooden box in her lap. I found something you should have, Grandma Rose says, opening the box to reveal a complete set of hand wraps, each with a small jade stone sewn inside. Your grandfather's competition wraps. He wore these for his championship fights. Jennifer takes them reverently. I thought you didn't approve. I don't, Grandma Rose admits. But I also know that Stonehand Alder's granddaughter doesn't back down from a righteous fight. She presses the box into Jennifer's hands. Just promise me one thing. Anything. Win or lose, this tournament is the end, not the beginning. Get the money for my treatment if you can, but don't make fighting your life. Your grandfather wanted better for you. The qualifying match venue is nothing like the glossy Pinnacle Fight Club. Housed in a community center gymnasium in the South Side, the makeshift arena consists of a regulation ring surrounded by folding chairs. Jennifer stands in the small locker room, Ray carefully wrapping her hands with her grandfather's competition wraps, the jade stone positioned precisely over her pulse point. Committee members are already seated, Ray says, his voice low and steady. Vincent's here, front row. Brought Tyler and his entourage. Let them watch, Jennifer replies, flexing her fingers to test the wrap's tension. As Jennifer emerges from the locker room, she's startled by the size of the crowd. What should have been a sparsely attended qualifying match has drawn hundreds of spectators, many wearing homemade t-shirts with Team Jennifer emblazoned across the front. Most surprising of all is the presence of Grandma Rose, seated in a wheelchair near the ring, portable oxygen tank at her side. Their eyes meet, and her grandmother gives a small, resolute nod. Jennifer faces Macy Diaz, a former regional champion serving as her qualifying opponent. The referee calls both fighters to center ring. Clean fight, ladies, he says. This is an exhibition qualifying match, 3 two-minute rounds. Judges are scoring technique, not looking for a knockout. The bell rings, and Jennifer settles immediately into her stance. Not the conventional boxing posture taught at places like Pinnacle, but the modified style her grandfather developed, slightly lower center of gravity, hands positioned to disguise the power in her counterpunches. The first round proceeds as a technical showcase. Between rounds, Ray dabs sweat from her face. Looking good, but they need to see more. Show them something special next round. The bell rings for round 2. Macy comes out more aggressively, forcing Jennifer to demonstrate defensive skills and footwork. A hard right cross gets through Jennifer's guard, snapping her head back. The crowd gasps. Jennifer tastes blood from a split lip but doesn't falter. Jennifer responds with a flurry of her own, culminating in a lightning-fast counter that catches Macy by surprise. It's a move straight from her grandfather's journal. The phantom step, he called it. A subtle weight shift that creates the illusion of movement in one direction while delivering power from another. One of the judges actually stands for a better view, clearly impressed. Even Vincent's expression has shifted from dismissive to concerned. When the final bell rings, the audience erupts in applause. The head judge approaches Jennifer as her gloves are being removed. Impressive showing, Ms. Alder. The committee will have a decision by tomorrow, but I wouldn't worry too much. As Jennifer exits the ring, she spots Vincent in heated conversation with the tournament director, gesturing emphatically while the director shakes his head. Her phone buzzes with a text. Committee approved your registration. Congratulations. First tournament match in 10 days. The tournament's opening day dawns clear and cool. The venue is Chicago's premier fighting arena, typically reserved for professional bouts. Jennifer arrives early with Ray, taking in the vastly different atmosphere from her qualifying match. Luxury boxes, professional lighting, cameras positioned for streaming coverage. Remember, Ray says, first opponent is Miguel Santos, former Pinnacle fighter now with Elite MMA. A tournament official knocks on the door. Ms. Alder, there's an issue with your registration. Please come with me. They follow the official to a small office where the tournament director waits with a concerned expression. We've received a formal complaint, he explains. Pinnacle Fight Club alleges you falsified your experience level on your application. There's also this. The director produces a cease and desist letter from Pinnacle's lawyers. They're threatening legal action against the tournament if Ms. Alder is allowed to compete. The director sighs. Normally, we'd have to suspend your participation pending investigation. But the committee reviewed Ms. Diaz's evaluation of your qualifying match again this morning. Her professional assessment of your skill level overrides Pinnacle's complaint. The tournament will proceed with you in the bracket as planned. The first match against Santos proves challenging but straightforward. Jennifer sticks to Ray's game plan, using her superior footwork to neutralize Santos's aggressive style. When she lands a clean combination in the second round that sends Santos stumbling back, the crowd erupts in surprised approval. Who is this girl? Someone shouts from the audience. The answer comes in round 3, when Jennifer executes a perfect counter that drops Santos to one knee. The referee initiates a standing count, but Santos waves it off, signaling he's done. Jennifer's first tournament victory comes by technical knockout. Vincent's interference continues throughout the preliminary rounds. Jennifer's locker room is mysteriously reassigned to a utility closet. Equipment goes missing. The schedule changes without notice, giving her minimal recovery time between matches while Tyler enjoys extended rest periods. Despite these obstacles, Jennifer advances through the bracket, each victory more convincing than the last. Her fighting style, a unique blend of her grandfather's unorthodox techniques and Ray's strategic guidance, confounds opponents trained in more conventional methods. By the semifinals, Jennifer has become the tournament's breakout star. The stands fill with supporters wearing jade green, the color of her grandfather's stone, as she prepares to face Tyler Brooks. In the locker room, hours before the match, disaster strikes. During warm-up, Jennifer's right hand seizes with searing pain. The intense schedule and accumulated strain have inflamed an old injury. "Can barely make a fist," she grimaces as Ray examines her hand. "Medical will force a withdrawal if they see this," Ray says gravely. Then her eyes fall on her grandfather's competition wraps, the jade stone gleaming under the fluorescent lights. "The stone wrap," she says suddenly. "Grandpa used it for support after his hand injury." With painstaking precision, Ray applies the special wrap technique detailed in her grandfather's journal, positioning the jade stone to provide both support and pressure on key acupressure points. The pain doesn't disappear, but it recedes to a manageable level. The arena falls silent as Jennifer and Tyler meet in the center of the ring for the referee's instructions. Tyler's expression is no longer dismissive. He's studied her fights, seen what she can do. When they touch gloves, Tyler leans in close. "Vincent says to tell you he knows about your grandmother's condition. Says it's a shame about that clinical trial spot going to someone else after you lose." The bell rings and Jennifer settles into her stance, her grandfather's voice echoing in her mind. "Let anger focus you, not blind you." Round 1 is a chess match, both fighters probing defenses, measuring distances. Tyler fights cautiously, more technically sound than Jennifer expected. She protects her injured hand, using her left to establish range and timing. Round 2 begins with Tyler pressing forward, sensing Jennifer's growing discomfort. He lands a hard combination that backs her into the ropes. The crowd gasps as Tyler pours on the pressure, looking for the finish. Jennifer weathers the storm, using defensive skills honed through years of training against larger opponents. When Tyler overextends on a right hook, she counters with a perfectly timed left that rocks him back on his heels. "That's it!" Ray shouts from the corner. "He drops his guard after the hook." The bell rings for the final round. Tyler charges forward, clearly instructed by Vincent to finish the fight. Jennifer gives ground strategically, using footwork to create angles, making Tyler miss by millimeters. Frustration builds in Tyler's expression as Jennifer slips another combination. He begins telegraphing his punches, exactly as Ray predicted. With 40 seconds left in the round, Tyler makes the critical mistake. Overcommitting to a right cross, he leaves himself exposed for a fraction of a second. All the opening Jennifer needs. Time seems to slow as she executes the technique her grandfather perfected, the one she's practiced thousands of times. The stone hand counter, a simultaneous slip and pivot that generates extraordinary power from minimal movement. Jennifer's right hand, powered through pain by determination and her grandfather's support wrap, connects with perfect precision on Tyler's jaw. The impact reverberates through the arena. Tyler's eyes go blank before he hits the canvas. Silence falls over the crowd, then erupts into deafening cheers as the referee begins the count. Tyler struggles to one knee, wobbles, falls back. The count reaches 10, and Jennifer Alder has accomplished the impossible, knocking out Pinnacle Fight Club's undefeated star fighter. In Vincent's VIP box, chairs scrape as he storms out, face contorted with rage. At ringside, Grandma Rose raises a trembling hand in salute, tears streaming down her weathered cheeks. The referee raises Jennifer's arm in victory, and the jade stone catches the arena lights, gleaming like a beacon. The aftermath unfolds in a blur of lights, sounds, and sensation. Jennifer stands center ring, arm raised by the referee, the thunderous roar of the crowd washing over her in waves. She feels strangely disconnected from her body, as if watching herself from a distance. The janitor who cleaned Pinnacle's floors, now the focus of thousands of cheering fans. Winner by knockout and advancing to the championship final, Jennifer Alder! The announcer's voice booms through the arena. Cameras flash as Jennifer climbs down from the ring, immediately enveloped by Ray's bear hug.
"You did it," he whispers, voice thick with emotion. "Stonehand would be proud."
A tournament official approaches with a microphone, local sports media in tow. "Jennifer, incredible performance. From cleaning staff to knocking out the tournament favorite, how does it feel?" The crowd quiets, eager for her response. Jennifer glances at Grandma Rose, whose oxygen tank can't hide the pride radiating from her tired face. "It feels like justice," Jennifer says simply. "Not just for me, but for everyone who's ever been underestimated, overlooked, or pushed aside because of who they are or where they come from." The crowd erupts again, her words striking a chord that resonates beyond boxing, beyond sport itself. "Did you always know you had this talent?" another reporter asks. "My grandfather saw it in me before I saw it in myself," Jennifer responds, touching the jade stone at her wrist. "He taught me that power isn't always about showing your strength. Sometimes it's about knowing when to reveal it." Before Jennifer can answer more questions, a commotion erupts near the exit tunnel. Vincent pushes through security, face flushed with rage, pointing accusingly toward the ring. "That rap is illegal!" he shouts, voice carrying across the now hushed arena. "Check her hand wrap! Non-regulation material!" Tournament officials exchange concerned glances. The head referee approaches Jennifer. "I'm sorry, but we need to inspect your wraps." As a medical official carefully unwraps her hand, revealing the jade stone, Vincent's triumphant expression says everything. He thinks he's found his loophole, his way to invalidate her victory. The medical official examines the stone, then confers briefly with the tournament director, who flips through a rule book with furrowed brow. "The stone is secured within regulation material," the director finally announces. "It contains no metal or hardening agents. There is no rule violation." Vincent's face contorts. "This is absurd. She's a janitor, not a fighter. This whole tournament is a farce." His outburst echoes through the suddenly silent arena. Hundreds of phones record the meltdown, the mighty Vincent Whitley reduced to petulant rage. From the crowd emerges Bella, Vincent's daughter, phone held high. "Dad, everyone can hear you. Everyone can see you." Her voice trembles but holds firm. "Just like they can see this." She taps her phone, and the arena's giant screens light up with video footage. Vincent in his office, instructing tournament officials which bracket to place Jennifer in, offering bribes to ensure certain matchups, explicitly ordering Tyler to hurt her enough to force withdrawal. The crowd's murmur builds to an outraged roar. Tournament officials huddle in urgent conference. Vincent stands frozen, exposed in high definition for all to see. "I've been recording everything," Bella says, her voice amplified by the microphone someone hands her. "Every corrupt deal, every time he cheated the system." Vincent is escorted from the arena, sponsors in the luxury boxes already on their phones, distancing themselves from the Pinnacle brand. In the chaos that follows, Jennifer makes her way to Grandma Rose, kneeling beside her wheelchair. "Did you see, Grandma? Did you see what Grandpa's teachings did?" "I saw," her grandmother whispers, cupping Jennifer's cheek. "I saw justice." The championship final the following day feels almost anticlimactic. Jennifer faces a worthy opponent, but fights with newfound freedom, the weight of Vincent's machinations lifted. When the final bell rings, the judge's decision is unanimous. Jennifer Alder, tournament champion, $50,000 richer. On the podium, oversized check in hand, Jennifer searches the crowd for the faces that matter. Ray, beaming with pride. Grandma Rose, tears streaming down her weathered cheeks. the neighborhood supporters who believed in her from the beginning. "Ms. Alder," the tournament director says as cameras flash, "as champion, you're entitled to a gym sponsorship for the next competitive season. Have you decided which facility you'll represent?" Jennifer smiles. "Stonehand Memorial Boxing Club, where I came from, where I belong." The aftermath of the tournament ripples outward like stones thrown in still water. Viral videos of Jennifer's victory and Vincent's meltdown generate millions of views. Local news features her story: the janitor with the hidden talent, the grandfather's legacy, the corrupt gym owner exposed. Pinnacle Fight Club's reputation collapses overnight. Elite clients cancel memberships. Sponsors withdraw support. The State Athletic Commission launches an investigation into Vincent's practices, uncovering years of corrupt dealings. 3 days after the tournament, Jennifer and Ray sit in the specialist's office as Grandma Rose undergoes her first treatment in the clinical trial. "The paperwork's all processed," the doctor confirms. "Your grandmother's first in line for the full treatment protocol." Outside the hospital, a small crowd of young girls waits, homemade signs displaying Jennifer's name alongside words like hero and inspiration. "Are you going to turn pro?" one girl asks, eyes wide with admiration. "No," Jennifer answers honestly. "This was about something specific, something important, but there are other ways to fight." A week later, Jennifer stands before the Stonehand Memorial Boxing Club, now bustling with new energy. Local businesses, inspired by her story, have donated equipment, funding, and support. Inside, Ray leads a group of neighborhood children through basic drills, emphasizing technique over power, patience over aggression, the same lessons Jennifer's grandfather taught her. "We've got 20 new members since the tournament," Ray reports. "Mostly kids from this neighborhood. 3 girls said they want to be just like you." Jennifer watches the children practice, seeing echoes of her younger self in their determined faces. "We need a scholarship program," she decides, "for kids who can't afford equipment or tournament fees." That evening, Jennifer visits Grandma Rose, whose color has improved after just 2 weeks of treatment. They sit together on the small balcony of their apartment, watching the sunset. "Your grandfather would be proud," Grandma Rose says, adjusting her oxygen tube. "Not of the fighting, though he'd admire your skill, but of what you've done with it." "I kept my promise," Jennifer reminds her. "The tournament was the end, not the beginning." "Of competing, perhaps," her grandmother agrees, "but you've started something else, haven't you? Something that might be even more important." 3 months later, Jennifer stands in the center of Stonehand's refurbished ring, surrounded by a new generation of fighters. She's dressed not in competition gear but in training clothes, her grandfather's journal open beside her as she demonstrates the fundamentals of the Stonehand technique. "Power isn't just about strength," she explains, echoing her grandfather's words. "It's about timing, patience, knowing when to reveal what you can do." Sai. The jade stone still wraps around Jennifer's wrist as she moves among her students, building something her grandfather began decades ago. Not just fighters, survivors. People who understand that sometimes the greatest victory isn't in conquering others, but in refusing to be defined by their expectations. Jennifer adjusts a young girl's stance, guides her through the movement pattern that toppled Tyler Brooks in front of thousands. The child's eyes light up when she executes it correctly. "Again," Jennifer says with a smile. From the beginning, the foundation has to be perfect. Like her grandfather before her, she knows that some lessons take a lifetime to teach. Some fights never truly end. And some stones, passed from generation to generation, carry more than luck. They carry possibility, waiting for the right moment to be revealed. Did Jennifer's journey of overcoming prejudice and finding her hidden strength inspire you? There are countless more stories of triumph, courage, and justice waiting for you on Beat Stories. Every week, we bring you powerful narratives that will move your heart and fuel your spirit. Don't miss a single empowering story. Subscribe to the Beat Stories channel now and hit that like button. Join our community of passionate viewers who crave authentic, emotional stories of underdogs rising above the odds. Did Jennifer's journey of overcoming prejudice and finding her hidden strength inspire you? There are countless more stories of triumph, courage, and justice waiting for you on Beat Stories. Every week we bring you powerful narratives that will move your heart and fuel your spirit. Don't miss a single empowering story. Subscribe to the Beat Stories channel now and hit that like button. Join our community of passionate viewers who crave authentic, emotional stories of underdogs rising above the odds.
Every time someone stands up, speaks out, or refuses to be erased, a new story is born. At Beat Stories, we archive that courage. Subscribe now and help us keep these moments alive, because the more we share them, the harder they are to ignore.